Hello, I'm Simon Whistler, you're watching TopTenzNet, and in the video today we're looking at the top 10 obvious frauds people actually fell for. Number 10. Nigerian print scam. The Nigerian print scam has been around as long as email has been available. This kind of scam involves an email from a prince in Nigeria, and they want to give you money to hold it for them until they can access it later. This means giving them your bank account information and they will transfer the money to you. People fall for this one pretty fast and lose a lot of money. This scam was named the Advanced Fee Fraud or 419 scam after the Nigerian criminal code that outlawed fraud in the country. A woman from Sweet Home, Oregon fell for this scam and lost almost $500,000. She sent these people money hoping for a big payout. Janella Spears, a registered nurse and reverend, started getting emails. The first one stated that she would get $20 million from her grandfather, which the family had lost touch with years ago. All she had to do was send $100 and she would get her inheritance. This scam went on for over 2 years, and each email and letter kept asking her for more money to get her inheritance. They even used President Bush and FBI Director Robert Mueller in the letters and email to gain her trust. She was even told by friends, family, and law enforcement to stop, that she was getting scammed, but she still thought she was going to get a big payday, so she kept going. The emails and letter had multiple spelling errors, but she didn't seem to notice. This is just the story of one victim of the Nigerian print scam. Number 9. Craigslist. The list of things you get scammed with on Craigslist is pretty big. The people who get scammed are usually those who don't know what too good to be true means. Often they end up losing money or something even worse. The first scam that Craigslist sees a lot of is renting or buying a house or apartment. Scammers post a picture of a house that is maybe vacant or on the market and then talk people into putting a payment down on it. They say that they aren't in the state or some other made-up story to get you to give them the money. Another one that really gets people is being given a fraudulent check, money order, or cashier's check for a large ticket item like a car. When you go to cash it, they tell you it's fake, or if they do cash it, you will lose money from your account to cover it while the scammers are enjoying your ride. Counterfeit tickets are another common way for someone to scam you on Craigslist, whether these are for airlines, concerts, or sporting events. People have become pros at making fake tickets and selling them to unsuspecting buyers. These are just some of the scams that you can come across on that site. People still fall for these scams today, and the site even has a disclaimer about what to look for in a scam on their site. The renting scam seems to be the one that works the best because people are so trusting. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, a widowed mother fell victim to this scam. Kimberly Mayfield found a house on Craigslist and she was shown the property and gave the landlord $750 to move in. He then told her that his wife was in the hospital having a baby and that he would draw up a lease for her and then he would bring it by. Mayfield moved into the house, but shortly after that all of her electronics were stolen and she tried to call the guy that rented her the property, but her calls went unanswered. As it turns out, the guy that rented her the property didn't own it and stole her money. She found out that the house was in foreclosure and that he had no rights to the property. This meant she would be homeless and would have to move out before the sheriff's sale of the property. Number 8. Get-rich-quick schemes. The internet has made it easy for people to find these schemes pretty easily. A simple Google search of work-at-home businesses will give you millions of results of scams that are just waiting to take your money and leave you nothing. Most of these sites want you to pay a fee for working with them, which is a big red flag that it is a scam. You should never have to pay for a job. The most famous of these schemes is the pyramid scheme. This is when you pay money to own your own business by selling products from one of the websites that they provide you. The thing is, no one will buy from your site, but they tell you if you get your friends to sign up, you will make money from their sales and get a bonus for your hard work. This is a waste of time and money, and the only one making money here is the scam artist. One group of people that fall for this scam the most are people that are looking to work from home. The jobs are advertised as stuffing envelopes, becoming a mystery shopper, and data entry. A woman from South Carolina found out the hard way about this type of scheme. Laura O'Neill, a mother of a 2-year-old little girl, saw an ad for a job stuffing envelopes that paid her $12 per envelope. She was happy to be making some extra money and being able to stay at home with her daughter. So she sent $37 to the company for a starter kit so she could start her job, but the kit never came, and when she went to complain to the company, there was no contact information on the website. That's when she sent a complaint to the Better Business Bureau, and it was forwarded to the Loveland, Colorado Police Department, where the scheme had originated and where the scammer was living. The culprit, 27-year-old Matthew Whitley, was arrested arrested for stealing money from multiple people and made about $120,000 in a 9-month period off the scam. This is just one example of a pyramid scheme where the only person that makes money is the scammer. Number 7. Phishing. Well, it's when you receive an email from a company that looks legit about a problem with your account or that someone stole your identity, and by clicking on the link to verify your information, you can avoid losing your identity or money to scammers. But the truth is that they just scammed you if you clicked on the link. This is where they start to steal your information. This can cause simple stuff like spam piling up in your account or serve as a virus being downloaded onto your computer that steals all of your information. Recently, celebrity nude photos were leaked and the FBI started investigating if the victims could have been victims of a phishing scam. This scheme happened to some UC Berkeley employees. Several of the employees received an email about something being wrong with their accounts, so they clicked on them and put in their campus information, and it was stolen. The scammers used this information to change the direct deposit on their accounts to go to different ones, and even changed some of them to receive a paper check. After the employees didn't get paid, they went to the payroll office, and that was when they found out about the email scam. Luckily, they were able to stop most of the payments before the scammers could get a hold of the funds, but this made the school upgrade their security so this couldn't happen again. That is how they get you. They tell you something is wrong in an email, and you click on the link, and they send you to a site that looks legit but isn't. Number 6. Senior fraud. Seniors fall victim to scams all the time, probably because they are trusting and don't know how to spot a scam. This leaves them vulnerable to losing money to scammers. Some of the recent scams that have plagued their community are healthcare scams. This kind of scam calls for information for verification, and then they are victim to identity theft. Another one is where there's a prescription drug company online that will sell their medication at a lower price than their insurance. Let's face it, prescription drugs can be really expensive. The thing is that the drugs that they are sent are counterfeit and put users in danger if they take them. Since most seniors don't use the internet, phone scams seem to be the most popular scam to reach them. Phone scams usually have them give money to a person in need, posing as one of their relatives, and just like that, the money is gone. They also use phones in telemarketing and lottery scams, like saying they won something but need to pay a fee to release it, and they believe the caller and send the money. One elderly couple fell victim to one of these scams. They lost $7,200 to a conman that claimed to be one of their grandsons that had been in an accident and needed money. After giving the man the money, a few days later, the elderly man called his son to check up on his grandson, but found out that he was okay and at home, not in the Dominican Republic like the man had said on the phone. This left the man feeling betrayed and out all of that money. This happens to more elderly people than you would think because they are so trusting. Number 5. Tourist scams. Traveling to a new country can be fun, but locals have devised schemes to dupe you out of your money because they think you don't know any better. That is why you should always be prepared when you are going on a trip abroad. When you are somewhere that you are unfamiliar with, you usually can use public transportation to get around, like a cab. Cab drivers can spot tourists, and they will sometimes charge you more by taking a longer route to your destination. They are also known to accidentally leave a piece of your luggage in the trunk, and before you realize it's gone, it's too late. Another scam is when you're at a shop or a store and the person ringing you up seems to be talking on their phone while doing it. They might be stealing your credit card information by taking a picture of your card. Another thing to look for is a local that asks for help or is a little too helpful. They could be picking your pocket while you're being distracted. In Europe, some taxi drivers will tell the tourists that their hotel is being renovated and take them to a more expensive hotel. This kind of scam is being investigated by the National Fraud Intelligence Bureau as booking fraud lost millions of tourist dollars last year. Another common scam is one that travel writer Eva Holland fell for. While in Istanbul, she got lost and had to take a cab back to where she knew she was, but after giving the lira that she had just got transferred from American currency, the driver gave her back discontinued notes that were worthless. The cab driver had been waiting for a tourist to take advantage of, and she was his target. Number 4. Modeling scams. Modeling scams have been around for a while, and they prey on young kids that want to be rich and famous. They offer all kinds of work, but just want money up front to get them a job and make their dreams come true. Most modeling scams happen when you are asked to pay upfront fees which don't lead to a job. These can be registration fees, photos, schools, or conventions. This is how 99% of people are scammed. The other 1% is when they start to work but don't get paid or get paid late. They've even been known to keep the money from their clients and not pay them. There are some signs to look for in avoiding this scam. If the person is pressuring you to do something that you're not comfortable doing, it's because they want something from you, and it's not to get you work as a model. They try to sign you up for a monthly fee to find you work, which is a scam because the agency should be trying to find you a job so they can get paid. The best way to avoid this scam is to research the company and make sure they check out before you start giving them money. But this is not the worst of the modeling scams. Brittany Kaysen was contacted to work at the Sochi Olympic Games. A man contacted her about the job, and everything the man told her seems legit and checked out. But what she didn't know is this is how some scammers get women to do something. They offer them fame, and sometimes they take it. Luckily, she didn't fall for this scam, and instead of flying to Sochi, she ended up talking to the FBI. It turns out that the man was trying to sell her and her friend into human trafficking. Most survivors of human trafficking tell about the same story, that they were hired to do a modeling job and ended up being sold as sex slaves to the highest bidders. This is one of the most extreme modeling scams out there. Number 3, wire transfer scam. This scam comes in many forms. One is wiring money to someone that needs it that you just meant, or being sent an actual check that you must cash. The latter then requires you to wire money back to them, allowing you to keep a portion of it. People still fall for this scam, but there are some ways you can avoid it. The first thing you should do is never wire money to someone that you don't know. You might believe their story, but sending the money will just be a loss for you. If the person wanting the money is pressuring you to wire money, then they are probably scamming you. Never let anyone deposit anything into your account and then ask you to wire them the money back. This scam has been disguised as a job as a secret shopper and can come in many forms. Never give your bank account to anyone in a call, email, or text message. This can give them access to your account and money so they can transfer it to their own account. Number 2, money investment scams. These kind of scams come in all kinds of forms, like a Ponzi scheme where someone convinces the investor that they will have a very high return on their money, but end up with nothing because it was a lie or the company never existed. This is also one of the scams that plagues seniors. They talk them out of their money because they promise to double what they have, but we all know it's too good to be true. A promissory note is used to people as a short-term debt solution by independent insurance agents or companies promising a high return, but they will eventually see nothing. Stockbrokers have been known to participate in fraud by charging them fees and doing unauthorized trades. Unlicensed people selling insurance that they don't know anything about and lying to the consumer about the return on their investment is also another common scam. So basically, never invest your money with someone that you don't know anything about or you don't trust. This could save you a lot of money in the long term. Bernie Madoff is one of the most infamous scammers to do this to people. He scammed his investors out of almost $65 billion and will be spending the rest of his life in prison. Since his conviction, Irvin Pickard, a trustee appointed to liquidate Madoff's estate, has been able to recover almost $10 billion to give to the investors that Madoff stole from, but sadly, most investors will be losing about half of the money that they invested with him. The victims that are eligible for receiving money from the settlements will only be getting about 54 cents for every dollar that they invested. Number 1, religious scams. One of the lowest things a scammer can use to scam people is the church, a place of sanctuary and worship being used to take people's money. Some people might say that the church already does that, but we aren't talking about those people. We are talking about people that take money away from the church using various scams. The first is the affinity church scam. This is where a person contacts someone from a church and tells him or her about his or her beliefs, which are the same as the person, and convinces them to donate to a false charity, and then they disappear. Some people even use a sob story to manipulate the churchgoers to give them money. This can be faking being sick or something tragic happened to the person, anything to get money. Another scam is one where the church is offered free or low-cost equipment, like new computers from an organization. They do this often by making the church pay up front for the equipment and being told that they will be reimbursed, but later they end up with nothing but lost money. Some people even go door to door pretending to be collecting for a church, which is illegal. And then of course there are religious cults, which is a whole other scam that I don't possibly have time to get into. So I really hope you found that video interesting and hopefully informative. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up button below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, over there on the right are a couple of other videos that you might enjoy if you enjoyed this one, and thank you for watching.